What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Darren. I'm the Bowtie Fragrance Guy. I love looking good and smelling great. Today I'm going to give you guys my top 10 niche choices that I'll be wearing this springtime. And because it's spring, I must say that I'm looking rather springy today. Wouldn't you agree? Is springy a word? Is it? It's not. It's not a word. So that's supposed to be a joke though. That it didn't go over well. Do not say that. So anyway, before we move forward, I want to go ahead and give you guys my subscriber spotlight. For my last video, I chose a comment, and that comment goes to Neil Alvey. And Neil wrote, "Glad to see I had 3 of the list: Prada L'Homme, Coach for Men, and Guerlain Ideal. I blind bought all these, sure to be smelling great this spring. Great review, Bowtie, slick suit." Neil, thank you so much for the compliment. Thank you so much for taking the time to comment on my video. I sincerely appreciate it. And Neil, because you're not here, as I always do, because I appreciate you guys so much, I'm gonna go ahead and put 2 sprays in the air, just for you. Oh man, that's some good stuff. Neil, that was for you. Now that we've done the subscriber spotlight, let's go ahead and jump right into the list. So if you want to know what my top 10 niche fragrances will be for the upcoming spring, you already know how we do. Keep it locked right here. Okay guys, we're back. Thank you so much for staying tuned in. Let's go ahead and jump right into the list. The number 10 fragrance this year comes from the House of Atelier Cologne, and this is Cedrat in Avant. Now I absolutely love this stuff. It smells like a coconut lime mojito, just to be quite honest with you. So it opens up really, really bright and refreshing and invigorating. And that's one of the characteristics I look for in my spring fragrances. The fragrance features notes of citron, lime, and mint. And it's just a great one to wear, again, when the temperatures get warm outside. I love a lot of fragrances from this house. They don't perform the best, but especially citrus-based fragrances, they smell really, really great. So that's why this made my list from the House of Atelier Cologne. This is Cedrat in Avant. The next fragrance on the list is probably gonna surprise some of you, but it's one that I think is gonna work really well in the spring season from the House of Parfums de Marly. This is Guerlain. Besides loving the bottle presentation on this stuff, I really feel like this one is going to work again in the spring season. I think spring and fall is the best time to wear Guerlain. It has notes in it like orange blossom, lavender, blood orange. And again, I know it kind of has a sweet, woody dry down. It has tonka bean in it, but it's not overly sweet. And the lavender helps to keep this fragrance fresh throughout. So I think it's really going to work well on my skin in the springtime. I wore it a couple times last spring, and that's when I got the idea. I was like, man, I think I'm going to need to rock this one around that time of year, because it really worked well on my skin during that time. So that's why I made the list this year from the House of Parfums de Marly. This is Guerlain. The number 8 spot this year goes to a fragrance from the By Kilian house, and this is Bamboo Harmony. I love the House of By Kilian, but most of their fragrances are made to be worn in the cooler temperatures. This is one that I actually do like, that I can wear in the warm temperatures. So this fragrance features notes of neroli, white tea, and fig and again tea. If you guys remember from my designer list, tea is one of those fragrance notes that works well on my skin in the springtime. So that and the kind of neroli fig combination is really creates a kind of soothing, but at the same time sweet but not overly sweet fragrance with a little bit of that By Kilian DNA in it. So I like this stuff. This is one of the ones that I like the most from that house that you can wear at warm temperatures. So that's why I made the list. The number 8 spot this year, again from By Kilian, this is Bamboo Harmony. The number 7 spot this year goes to a fragrance from the House of Acqua di Parma. This is Fico di Amalfi. First time I smelled this fragrance, I was in Nordstrom's. I smelled it. It was so fresh. This thing is fresh. It smells like you're literally cutting open a lime, grapefruit, and just cutting it open, and the aroma that comes from a very fresh fruit is what I get from this. It's so fresh in the opening. It's very uplifting fragrance, and that's what I love about it. When I sprayed it on my skin, it was kind of this sparkling vibe that came from the grapefruit that I absolutely love and appreciate. So I love to wear this stuff in the spring and summertime. From the House of Acqua di Parma, this is Fico Diamante. In the number 6 spot this year, we have from the House of Roja Dove. This is from the Parfum Cologne collection. This is Vetiver. Again, Vetiver is one of those notes for me that works best on my skin in the springtime. Of course, you can get away with it in the summer, but springtime, Vetiver fragrances tend to work best on my skin. Absolutely love this stuff. If you smelled Great Vetiver from Tom Ford, this is kind of like Great Vetiver to me, but on steroids maybe. It's a little bit spicier. This does have vetiver, of course, but it has oak moss in it. Very sophisticated fragrance. If I'm going to wear and go somewhere and have to wear something that calls for like a formal attire, this is the one I'm going to turn to, because I think this pairs so well in a formal occasion where you have to dress formally. So that's why I made the list. Again, a sophistication in class in a bottle from the House of Roja Dove. This is Vetiver from the Parfum Cologne collection. Okay guys, we're moving into the top 5. I usually try not to have 2 fragrances from the same house on a top 10 list, but I could not leave this fragrance out. This one comes from the House of Bond number 9, and this is Bleecker Street. I've talked about this fragrance a lot on this channel, so I'm pretty sure you guys know how I feel about it. I love the bottle presentation, and I love the contrast again of the kind of green and floral nature and aspect of this fragrance, how they kind of combine with the gourmand elements. This fragrance features notes of violet leaf, cinnamon, and vanilla, and it's just a staple of most people in the springtime. It works really, really well in those 60 to 75 degree temperatures, and I'm going to be rocking it again this spring. Again, from the House of Bond number 9, this is Bleecker Street. Number 4 fragrance is a very iconic fragrance in the fragrance community, I would say, from the House of Amouage. This is Reflection Man. I love this stuff. It's a white floral fragrance for the most part, with a nice kind of creamy sandalwood dry down. The sandalwood kind of envelops and kind of lays on the base and behind the other white floral notes in this fragrance, creating just this very sweet and creamy but floral kind of vibe that you get from it. But again, another staple in my collection in the springtime. I love this stuff, man. When I first smelled it, I was absolutely blown away by this one. So it's one that's probably always going to be on my spring list because I love it that much, from the House of Amouage. This is Reflection Man. In the number 3 spot, we're going back to the House of Bond number 9. This is the only reason that Creed's Green Iris Tweed did not make this list. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm going to be wearing Green Iris Tweed. Trust me. But it's made the list every year. So this year I wanted to show another fragrance some love that smells probably 90 to 95% like Green Iris Tweed from the House of Bond number 9. This is Chabon. So I really don't have to go into what this smells like because, again, most of you have probably put your nose at some point in time on Green Iris Tweed. This is basically almost the same thing. This is not quite as green as Green Iris Tweed, maybe a little bit more, a little bit sweeter, a little bit more citrus, but again, pretty much the same stuff. I absolutely love this fragrance. Again, it doesn't get talked about a lot, and I think that's just because it is overshadowed by the monster and icon that is Green Iris Tweed. But if you love Green Iris Tweed, you'll like this one as well from the House of Bond number 9. This is Chabon. In the number 2 spot, this is a Creed fragrance that made the list. One of my absolute favorites from the House of Creed. This is Silver Mountain Water. This fragrance right here is one, when I initially smelled it, I didn't really like the fragrance, to be honest with you. I sprayed it on my skin because it's kind of this kind of medicinal quality to some degree. But I sprayed it on my skin, I ran back to work, and I know you've probably heard this story before, got right back in my car and drove back and picked this up and bottled it because I just love what it did once it really hit my skin and started to develop a little bit. This is another fragrance that features a nice tea note. And again, tea, vetiver, some of the notes that I really love in the springtime. This fragrance features notes of bergamot, green tea, and black currant. And again, fragrances with tea in it really work well on my skin. I love Silver Mountain Water. One of the most complimented fragrances hands down in my collection, man. Staple of mine from the House of Creed. Number 1 fragrance for me in the springtime this year is going to go to a fragrance from the House of Maison Francis Kurkdjian. I've done a review on this. If you want to know all about what it's about, go check it out. I think that was one of the best reviews I've done on YouTube. From the House of Amazing Francis Kirkjohn, this is Baccarat Rouge 540. The mysterious fragrance in a bottle. This fragrance is everything. It's everything. It's a little bit dense, it's a little bit uplifting, it's a little bit translucent. It's everything. And I absolutely love this stuff. This fragrance features notes of lavender, ambergris, and white oak moss. And I've said it before in my review, this one plays tricks with my mind, man. Sometimes I think it's gone, but it's still there, hanging strong. I blended this the other day with Molecule 01, and magic happened. I was really speechless as to what I got from pairing this with Molecule 01. One of the best layering experiments that I've ever done. So if you have Molecule 01 and you have this, combine the two together, thank me later, it won't cost you a dime. My number one fragrance from the House of Amazing Francis Kirkjohn goes to Baccarat Rouge 540. Guys, that's my time. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. You guys could have been anywhere else in the world, but you're right here with me, your boy, the Bowtie Fragrance Guy, and I sincerely appreciate that. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share these videos out to people that you think could use this information. Find me entertaining, or just think that I am strikingly handsome. Either way, I'll take it. So go ahead and share this video out, and don't forget, I'm your boy, the Bowtie Fragrance Guy. I love to look good, and I love to smell amazing. So until next time, guys, keep looking good, keep smelling even better. I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.